Belladonna vlog. Good to see you. So, excuse the bad lighting. It is, what is it? It is July 10th at 5 o'clock a.m. It is a Monday. I'll leave and work a little early because, you know what? I ain't feeling it today. I think, whatever. Brain monsters are being monstery. Anyway, I wanted to check in because I have started Belladonna and I am digging it so far. So far, I am 20% into it, and I think it's going to be really good. I really like the writing. It's really pretty. So, let's see if I can do this synopsi correctly. So, we have our main character, Signa, and she has been able to see death since she was an infant. She first saw him when she was a couple months old, and when her parents were poisoned at a party that they had thrown. So, when this occurred when she was 4 months old, that began her long process of being transferred from family member to family member. Her first guardian right after her parents was her grandma, and she loved her grandma so much, and when her grandma passed, she saw death again, and that's when she started hating death. So it seems death is constantly there. All of her guardians have died and died and died, and she has even had a couple accidents where she should have died. For example, falling down the stairs and breaking her neck. And death comes, but he can't ever claim her. So, long story short, she has grown this huge hatred with death. She is with her latest guardian named Aunt Magda. And she's incredibly cruel, doesn't feed her enough, thinks she's evil, obviously, because everyone who takes care of her dies. And all Signa needs is to make it to her 20th birthday to get her inheritance from her parents because they were so wealthy. Well, Signa decides that she is going to just confront death and tell him to F off, get out of her life. He's ruining her life. So she's trying to find ways to unalive herself so that she can confront him. Well, Aunt Magda catches her trying to do this and starts going off. Aunt Magda falls and ends up dying, screaming at him, "Why do you hate me? Why are you cursing me? You're ruining my whole life." And Death says, "I don't hate you." And, you know, he's kind of like, flirty voice, like, you know, he seems really, I don't know, there's going to be a good twist with him, and I know that. Maybe a love interest, I can only hope. But anyway, he says, "Be here in 2 days. I'll fix it. I'm not trying to ruin your life." So lo and behold, 2 days later, this amazing carriage rolls up, and she is going to go live at Thorn Manor, which is where Magda's granddaughter Lillian lives with her husband and his 2 children. And Signa is hoping that she can start her, maybe have a real life where she can debut at the, you know, debut like the women did back in the day, and find a husband and maybe have a home and a good life. And we arrive at the manor. So that's how far I am so far. And I'm excited. It's a good little start. I'm intrigued. The writing is really pulling me in. If I had to guesstimate what the final starage would be, my final rating from this so far, I'd say it at least is getting a 4-star. So, there we go. Hopefully that made some sense, and I will check in when I get to about 40% or 50% and see how it's going. But thank you for driving home with me. Check in soon. Hello. So it is July 11th. It is about 7:45 a.m. and I wanted to give you a Belladonna update. It is freezing. It is 51 degrees here, yes, in the middle of June. And I need to warm up. So I got my heating pad on and my weighted blanket. But I am 27% through and shit is crazy. I mean, this shit is crazy. So where I had left off is that Signa had arrived at the manor, and so come to find out, she gets there and Lillian is dead. She has died under mysterious circumstances. So Signa is trying to settle in, but there's these weird parties going on that I guess that Elijah, Mr. Hawthorne, has been throwing for months since Lillian's death. And now Lillian and Elijah's daughter, Blythe, is sicker than a dog. So Signa ends up seeing and following Lillian's ghost. Oh my God. One thing I will say is this book has descriptions that are so intense. Adalyn Grace knows how to write horror. I mean, man, the descriptions are intense. So Lillian the ghost cannot speak because her mouth is rotten off, but she ends up scrawling in the dirt, "Come to my garden, save my daughter." So the next day, Lillian is so excited because she's going to finally start getting her training so that she can maybe be a proper lady and be introduced into society. But while they're at training, she hears Lillian's crying, and apparently so do Lillian's children, because Blythe and the son are there. I forget the son's name. Percy. And so Lillian follows the crying in the daylight, and Silas, the stable boy who has very fancy clothes, takes her on a horse ride, and Lillian takes off by herself and ends up at the garden, and she starts eating belladonna berries, and Death comes, and he is witty and sexy. He's all shadowy, but he helps her transport through space and time, I guess, so that she can go through the gate, because when she is dead, dying dead, she's in between the realm of life and death, so she gets Death's powers. I don't know. We're only 27% in. Like, it's pretty intense. But I am still liking it. I think how quick it's moving. I'm not sure I'm enjoying that. So my initial star rating of 4, I think right now is a 3.75. But we're going to continue. I'm not ready to DNF it, but hands down the writing is great. Like, I would love to read a longer book by Adalyn Grace, like maybe an adult one. It was like 600 pages because I think her writing talent could do it. But that's my spoiler-filled update. Let's see what the hell she's gonna do in Lillian's garden. Apparently Lillian was poisoned, and Blythe is being poisoned too. So I guess we're moving into YA mystery territory. YA mystery horror territory. I'll check in soon. Hello! I want to do a Belladonna update. I am about 47% of the way through now, so halfway I'd say. And I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm reading it, it's entertaining. But so in my last check-in, I thought that it was, all right, let me tell you what day it is. It is Friday, July 14th at 12:15 a.m. But at my last update, I thought it was going to be, kind of leaning towards the mystery of who is poisoning Blythe and who had poisoned Lillian. Well, now, okay, so Marjorie, the housekeeper, the maid, the lesson giver, she has set Signa up to have a social meeting with some young ladies her age. Her best friend Charlotte shows up out of nowhere because apparently Signa's mom had a fling with Charlotte's dad. Charlotte doesn't talk to her, but she's very uncomfortable and trying to follow the social rules because all she wants is to join society. And then Death shows up and he's all pretending to have tea. And I mean, he's fun. I like him. But the way that Death is pushing so hard, like, we share the same powers. I've never met anyone like you. Don't you feel it when you come half between life, half between death? And she's like, yeah, I do, but I really just want to be a socialite and find a good husband. So she's straddling with that. And Death is trying to get her to make a deal with him to where he can teach her his powers. Well, what was weird was Signa had gone upstairs and tasted Blythe's tea in front of her and Percy, Blythe's brother Percy, and she's all, poison. And they're like, oh no. And she's like, everybody be careful. Like, it's not even a big deal. So I don't know, like, where we're going. Like, I mean, obviously we're going to find out who killed Blythe and Lillian. And maybe she's going to take some lessons with Death. And then there's Silas, that dude who runs the stables and works for the family, but he's dressed too nice and he's hot and she's getting a crush on Silas. But Death had just mentioned, she said something like, fate can sod off, like fate can fuck off. And Death is like, well, when I see him again, I'll let him know. So like, is Silas something like that? Is Silas fate or wrath? Or I don't know what the fuck is going on. Honestly, I'm kind of lost, but I'm not sure what the plot is. I don't know where it's trying to go. It's like 4 or 5 different things in it, and I think that may be a downfall of it. We're gonna keep going. I'm hoping it all ties together and it's perfect. I mean, I'm completely entertained. The writing is incredible. The writing is really good. I'm entertained. I'm picturing everything. I'm not getting lost. I just kind of 50% want to know where we're going. Is it a story about her accepting her death powers? Does she have some hidden purpose she never knew about? I don't know. let's keep reading and figure it out. Hey guys, it is time to sit in the bad lighting and finish up our Belladonna vlog. It went. So it is July 21st, Friday morning at 1:14 a.m. I wanted to go ahead and let you know my final thoughts about Belladonna. We're going to go ahead and see where the book's ending up and just talk about some points that I thought, going through it. So first of all, I did finish it. It was not a DNF, so that's a good thing. My final score of it is going to be a 3.75, which was right on par for my last prediction. So in my last update, I was really wondering what is the point of this book. And I think that I have a pretty good idea of what the point is. The point was, is she going to choose Silas or death? Because she had lust with them the whole time. Is she going to accept being a socialite and following those strict, stringent rules? Or is she going to embrace her powers that she has and live her life for herself? Because she's, going to be a quadrillionaire, millionaire when she turns 20 in a few months. And it was a murder mystery on who had poisoned Lillian and killed her and who was poisoning Blythe. The problem there is that that's too much. That's too much for, maybe not a god or goddess tier level writer, but it proved too much for Adalyn Grace for this series. The descriptions, the actual writing was so amazing. If she was able to, I'm not a writer, so I don't know, but if she was able to tie it all together correctly with the right formatting, with the right technical stuff, moving scene to scene, it may have been obtainable. But it was not a hit for me. I will try another Adalyn Grace. I will wait for the next series or two down the road because I think she has incredible potential. The way she writes descriptions, fantastico. There were a fun little twists and turns and revelations that I didn't see coming. I don't know if I didn't see them coming because I was confused or if that was well done. I'm not super huge on thrillers. The romance was not done very well. Death was incredibly hot. Silas was incredibly hot. But two of the things that really bothered me was that in this book, lust was being confused with love. She was lusting after Silas and Death. She did not love either of them. And I felt that Death was quite a bit manipulative. As I said in one of my updates, he's really forcing and pushing, which I didn't like. It is definitely a fantasy murder mystery, which I guess I was leaning more towards a YA fantasy romance, which I guess was what she was aiming for, and maybe it would have been better without the murder mystery. Kind of repeating myself. And yeah, I really don't know what else to say. I am kind of disappointed because Fairy Loot is going to do a print for the second in the series, which is Foxglove Manor, something like that. But oh my god, the cover reveal, it looks so beautiful. But I am not going to waste the money on it because I do not want to continue this series. Belladonna has joined her place in the sell bucket. Wah, wah, wah. We have to get at least 4 stars for it to live on the shelf, and we just kind of missed out this month. But thank you for watching the vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Adalyn Grace is definitely going to be on my radar. I hope some of you liked it a lot more than I did. And I look forward to doing our draw for August because we have never-ending Fairy Loot special editions to get off. So I will check you later, Tater. It's my night off, so I'm going to go read. I'll check in soon. Bye-bye.